we are going to try to explain Paul Macbeth's form using physics. Okay? So the disc golf throw is performed in such a way where, let's say, Paul Macbeth is a 165-pound guy who's moving that 165 pounds over some amount of distance to gain inertia and velocity, and then he's putting all of the inertia that's within 165 pounds into a 180 or 180 gram disc. So when we look at the equation for force equals mass times acceleration. The way that we are able to gain acceleration as kind of our primary use is we have to change around the equation a little bit. So in order to gain acceleration, gain velocity, because acceleration is a property of velocity, then we divide the mass out of the equation, and that gives us this, where force divided by force over mass equals acceleration. So the properties that we're looking at are, okay, the mass is changing. The mass is going from Paul Macbeth size to a disc size, going for a smaller m. And so that we know the product of that. We know the delta of that over time. And now it's just a matter of force. So force is generated as we go through the entire throw. Okay, so let's kind of highlight the places where he's generating force. Okay, so he's taking his lead steps. He's getting psyched up. Okay, right there, he begins, takes a big step. Every step he's taking is generating force. Okay, now we have some inertia going into his system, and we get lined up. Now here's where things really start to get crazy. So now he's transferring his weight. He's not pushing off of this leg yet. It's not in an optimal position to push. So now we get past the midline. Look at the knee bend. Look at that knee bend. Now look at how hard he's pushing into the turf. So now we have even more force being exerted that way, which is going to travel up through the legs, into his trunk, and now we get some force being produced by the back muscles being pushed through, and now all of that force. Okay, so at this point we're done accelerating, right? We've hit that second point in the power pocket, and now it's a little bit more force that's added through pulling the shoulder, but we're done pushing off of the ground. And now it's just a matter of keeping all of that force that we've accumulated and efficiently transferring it through the mass and turning that into acceleration. So now let's take a look at my form.